Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new video. This time, my draft analysis for the NDL Season 2. NDL has come back with a second season, and I'm participating in it. So I am now going to do my draft analysis for it. And I'm actually really excited about this draft because I think it's actually quite good. So let's get into it. First, a little bit about the tiering system, which is quite interesting. Previously, it was just tiers, so S tier, A, B, C, and D tier. That has stayed the same, but now the tiers are awarded points, and you can only pick one S tier max, and you can spend the rest of your points on every tier you want. If you end up with 11 Pokemon max and min, you have to end up with 11 Pokemon, I think. So it's kind of a point system, also a tier system, a bit of both, which I thought was nice. I thought it was definitely nicer than just a tiering system. So yeah, let's get into the draft. One thing they did though is they wanted to have an S tier Pokemon for like every player in the draft, which were like 18 players this time, which is quite a lot. So what they did is they took like 18 Pokemon, which are not all actually S tier worthy in my opinion, and they just put them in S tier like for prices that were probably too high for what they were actually worth. And my favorite Pokemon, like probably one of the best Pokemon in draft format, they did not put in S tier, they put it in the A tier. So yeah, let's add that Pokemon right now. That's Tornadus Therian. They put this one in A tier, which like, it baffles me. This Pokemon is really, really good. That's Regenerator, which is one of the best abilities in the entire game, in my opinion. It gets Knockoff, it gets U-Turn, it gets like nice Stab Hurricane. It gets like a lot of like coverage as well. It gets Heat Wave. It gets like Focus Blast, even though like Focus Blast only misses. But yeah, it has super nice stats. It has a 121 base speed stat, which usually outspeeds a lot of things, a nice base special attack at 110, and a nice attack set at 100 as well. So it can be both bulky with the Regenerator and offensive as well. If you slap an Assault Vest on this, it's actually super nice, even though like you can also slap Boots on it right now, with which is super nice, so it doesn't take rocks damage. But if you U-turn out, you recover 33%, I think, or 30%, I think. So rocks damage doesn't really matter. Like, this is one of the only rocks weak Pokemon that really doesn't mind rocks. So yeah, that's super nice. I'm super glad I got this pick. This is my favorite Pokemon, and it's super good in draft format. And they put it at A tier, which is definitely lower worth than it's actually worth. So second Pokemon I thought would like paired really nicely with this, Slowbro. Also with the Regenerator ability, immediately forming a double Regenerator core. I could also go for like Toxapex, but Toxapex is really passive. Like, it does most of its damage by just toxicking things, and that's really not what I want. Slowbro has a little bit more offensive capabilities with like 100 base special attack, which is nothing to laugh at, of course. A nice 110 base defense with 95 HP to support that. And 80 speed def is also quite nice. You can slap an Assault Vest on this thing as well, and it actually functions really well as a special switch in then as well. So immediately forming that double Regenerator core. This is also probably one of the best teleport ones because of the Regenerator ability. You can either hit teleport out, regen what you just took in damage, and go into something that's more speedy or more offensive. So that's super duper nice. Third pick is Nidoking. I should probably tell which tiers these were. Like, this was an A tier, this was a B tier. Nidoking was an A tier, which I don't think it was worth, because there were a lot of good mons in A tier, and I don't think Nidoking and Nidoqueen are actually A tier mons, but they're super good. Like, with Sheer Force Life Orb, this thing doesn't have any really good switch-ins unless like it's Chansey or like Blissey. But yeah, this thing hits super duper hard. It has super nice coverage as well. It gets a Sludge Wave, it gets Earth Power, which are its like main stabs. You can slap Ice Beam on it. I think it gets Flamethrower. Yeah, it gets T-Bolt as well. Yeah, this thing gets like all the coverage it needs, which is amazing. The only thing kind of holding it back is its 85 base speed. It's not bad, but it underspeeds quite some like important threats in the meta, you could say, which is okay. You could also like run this thing physical, of course. Like, of course, its special attack is lower than its physical attack, but sheer force only boosts moves that have additional effects, which are usually special moves. So you usually run this thing especially offensive. But like 102 base attack set is definitely not something to laugh at. This thing also gets stealth rocks, so this gives me a stealth rocker. Tenacious of course has defog, so that's what I have in hazard control at the moment. So that's really nice. Next pick, I wanted to start forming a Fairy Dragon Steel Core, and I picked Hydreigon, which is someone like in the past I usually really didn't like. It's quad weak to Fairy. And of course its offensive stats are quite impressive. 98 base speed is really nice to be at as well. So in general it's not a bad mon, but it's just someone that I really wanted to try out just because I never have before. You can run this thing choice specs. It gets Dragon Dance, so you can actually run it physical as well. I mean 105 base attack with these Dragon Dance boosts are actually super nice, so that's really nice as well. Its main stabs are like Draco Meteor and Dark Pulse, but it gets like Flash Cannon as well for fairies, which is really nice. No, not Flash Cannon, which is super nice. So both physical, special. This thing gets defog, even though you really don't want to run it on this. It gets it, so it's really nice. So yeah, that's all about Hydreigon, to be honest. Next pick is Slurpuff. Like, Slurpuff is a mon I really have trouble with prepping for, just because it can do a lot of stuff. Of course, it has Unburden, which doubles its speed when its item is used. So Belly Drum with some kind of berry is actually super duper nice. You can run at max attack, like 80 base attack is of course not too amazing, but plus 6 max attack adamant base 80 attack stat is really nice. So you can run Unburden. It gets Sticky Web support for the team, which is really nice. I've never like actually drafted a mon that gets Sticky Web, so I really want to try that out. Like its base stats are not too amazing, but you can like invest in defense, in HP, in SpDef, and HP, and then it actually will eat some hits. So yeah, it's overall quite a solid mon, to be honest, and I just really wanted to try it out. Like kind of the point of this trial is to draft a lot of mons that I haven't used yet before. So welcome Slurpuff to the team. Next one I drafted was Entei. I really wanted a fire type, and Entei looked really solid. Of course, its base stats are amazing, like 115 HP with 85 defense and 75 SpDef. Means you can actually run a bulky, which is quite nice. Like its abilities are not too insane. Like you can run in the focus, you can't get intimidated, which is nice, I guess. But other than that, the abilities aren't too great. Of course, you can run Boots on it right now, which is amazing for Entei. It doesn't have to take 25% on entry. Its signature move is Sacred Fire, or like it shares the signature move with Ho-Oh, I think. Like it has a 50% chance to burn, which is of course amazing, and has 100 base power and 95% accuracy. Okay, like the 5% it like misses with this thing will be annoying, but 95% is still really nice. Yeah, I don't know too much about this mon, like other than that, but it's like Carmine is really nice. Yeah, Extreme Speed of course, really nice as well. But like this mon is super duper nice to use, I think. I'm really looking forward to using it, so welcome Entei to the team. Okay, I copied the team, so we can now enter new mons into it, which is really nice. Next pick we picked is Landorus Therian, which actually was an S tier, and I actually think this mon is like worth less than Tornadus Therian, for example. But it was just sitting there, and like Landorus is a really good Pokemon. Like 145 base attack, hits insanely hard. With Intimidate, you can actually run this bulky physically really nicely, which is really nice. 91 base speed is a nice base speed to sit at. Of course, it won't outspeed like some of the major threats, but it's still really nice. It gives me another defog mon, while at the same time giving me another stealth rank mon, which is super nice. Its main stats are going to be like Earthquake. It doesn't have a nice physical flying type stat, Like you'd have to run Fly, which in previous generations like wasn't a problem because you could run like Z Fly to actually have an immediate flying type stab. Of course, you can run like what's it called? Power Up, I think it's called. Yeah, Power Up Fly. But like that's kind of a waste of an item in my opinion. But it's still a fun thing to think about. So yeah, we took Landorus on the team as an S tier, which is super nice in my opinion. So yeah, really excited to use this thing, especially in combination with Tornadus Therian. I think this thing is really nice. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Next one we drafted is Cavalion, which was sitting at B tier. In NDL Season 1, I used Virizion, which I really like using. Like, at first sight, like it has a really nice base defense. Like, this one will be run defensively if you really need it, but you can actually invest into its attack or special attack, and it will actually do work for you, you know? Mainly because its base, like its main stat move, main physical stat move, is Close Combat, which actually has a really high base power. So if you invest into attack, it will actually put out really nice damage for you. So Close Combat, this thing gets Stealth Rocks, super nice. It gets a Volt Switch, which I first didn't know, but like a Volt Switch on this thing, I think would be really, really nice. Get some momentum going. And the rest, you can do Iron Head. So yeah, really looking forward to using Cavalion on this team. Next one we drafted is one I'm really looking forward to using. Gourgeist. I can use all forms if I'm not mistaken, which is super duper nice. Like its main aspect is, let's just select one. It's like its defense. It has a really nice defense stat at 122, but you can also trade off speed for attack, for example, and throw on a choice band on this thing. I've seen like a choice band Poltergeist set, which just hits insanely hard because Poltergeist has a really high base attack power. So like you can do a lot of things with this mon. You can run bulky with Leech Seed. I think it's Synthesis. I hope it gets it. Yeah, Leech Seed Synthesis. Just be annoying. It gets a Will-O-Wisp if I'm not mistaken. So you can just be an absolute nuisance with this mon. Which I'm really looking forward to be honest. Yeah, so Gourgeist gives me a lot of options, I feel. And it gives me a really solid grass type and a ghost type, which I really appreciate on the team for the moment. So next one I drafted is Alolan Persian, which is the one I was supposed to use in the IBA Season 3, but I traded it away in the free agency period. But now I actually drafted it. It was sitting at D tier, and with the third cut ability and max defense investment, this thing is super duper bulky physically. And it also gives me a dark type, so I'm not too prone to Psychic Spam. Of course, I have already a dark type in Hydreigon, but of course Hydreigon is a lot more afraid of those fairy type coverage moves. So quite glad we could pick up Alolan Persian here. It gets Parting Shot, which is really nice. It also gets a U-turn if you really want to use that. It gets Knockoff, super duper nice. So yeah, Alolan Persian gives me a lot of utility, I feel, and a really nice physical switch in general. So yeah, really happy I'm going to be able to use Alolan Persian. And the final one I drafted, I had only room for one more Pokemon in D tier. Oh, I'm checking the moves. Is Quillfish. Now, Quillfish's stats are of course not insanely amazing. It has Intimidate, so you can run it physically defensive, and it actually functions really well. But this one gives me like spikes and poison spikes, which I really appreciated. Also, which is super duper nice. It also gives me a grounded poison type. Like that's always nice to have on a team, just so you're not prone to toxic spike stacking. So yeah, really looking forward to using this one. I think in general, like the main stats you're going to be running are physical. Like it has a 95 base attack stat, so that's really not too bad. Liquidation, I think it gets Poison Jab. I really didn't look into that. Yeah, I guess Poison Jab. So you can run that kind of stuff. And in general, I'm just really looking forward to using Quillfish as well. So looking at the team, like I can delete this one. At first I thought like this team is quite weak to Ice. I mean Tornadus, Nidoking, Hydreigon. Next one is Landorus. It's quite weak to ice, or Gorguize of course. But I have some really nice ice switching, like Quillfish is a really nice switching for ice types. Cobalion is as well, and I also have Entei and Slowbro. So I think I covered that weakness quite nicely. I drafted a lot more hazard control and a lot more hazards than I have in previous draft leagues. So I really hope that works out. And I drafted a dual regenerator core, which I just like really wanted to try out. So yeah, really happy with this draft, at least the way it's looking on paper. So I really hope it works out. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.